let's do this. What's cracking, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. You already know who it is. Your host of the most, Kensou. Guilty Gear Revelator 2, one of my favorite Guilty Gear games in the entire series, is back with rollback netcode, and ArcSys is running this beta for the next 2 weeks. In this video, I'm gonna highlight the things that I have seen and noticed with my time so far playing it. So sit back, buckle up, get some popcorn, and let's talk about Rev2 Rollback Beta. So let's get to the meat and potatoes, which definitely is the online. How does it feel? How does it, how does it work, right? So the core gameplay in itself is fine. None of that's really changed. All that's still the same. However, I will say that there are some issues, and I do believe as of right now, this might be a little harsh to say, but I think Chip in particular is a little unplayable. And the reason being for that is Chip has a lot of graphical glitches with his teleports. Find Me seems to work just fine. If you're not familiar with Find Me, that's his camouflage. His camouflage seems to be a little bit okay. His teleport's a little awkward. Gamma Blade like flickers and glitches a good bit. His leaf throw, well, quite frankly, there are no leaves. He just kind of does this Mega Man jumping pose and just comes after you and snaps your neck. And that also is the same case for literally all his leaf throws, even the ones on the wall. And it was such a humongous throw off for me playing Chip, because it's like, this is my character. Why is all my stuff all glitchy and buggy, But, this is a beta, so we got to give ArcSys a buddy pass, right? We got to give him the hall pass, right? So Chip was not the only character with graphical bugs and glitches. There was also Slayer, whose teleport just, well, couldn't see his burst. Didn't know he, oh wow. Okay. I don't even know what that is, but it's something. So it's a little difficult to place in some cases. In addition to other graphical bugs and glitches, also the bursts were not proper. Sometimes they would just happen. They were very hard to react to. It was very jarring. So my experience so far has been somewhat jarring, and it could just be because of the character that I main, Chip, right? But also fighting Slayer was a little awkward. There was just so many things that just were a little off-putting. Other things such as connectivity. Now, in terms of connections, it was mostly okay. However, I did have some games where it was very low, ping, but the rollback frames were high and it stuttered to no end. And it was pretty bad, especially with like the air game, which is something I will admit that Xrd does pretty decent in comparison to Strive. It does handle the air game a little bit better. Strive does a lot more skipping than this game so far, than Rev2. However, it did happen in there, but not nearly as much. It more or less stutters. So where it would skip in Strive, in Rev2 it just stutters a bit. In high ping with low rollback, it is somewhat playable, but again, you'll just have a lot of teleporting or moves just happening without being able to be reacted to. So it's a little tricky, right? I don't think it's a bad beta at the moment. I don't think that the rollback implementation is truly bad. It is definitely playable, definitely functional. It's really cool to see that we have it, but it's very clear that they have a lot of like kinks to kind of work out. And they did mention before that like retrofitting rollback into Revelator would have been an issue. It would take a little bit of time. It may break some things. So I think this is kind of telling of that. What I think, and I could be wrong here, I'm just gonna throw a humongous hot take out here. You guys let me know how you feel about this, right? But I do think that, as wild as it may sound, maybe porting the game over from Unreal Engine 3 to Unreal Engine 4 would have been a better move, maybe some of the rollback heads that do programming might be able to chime in on this a little bit. But personally, what I would have wished for, in all honesty, was an update to Revelator, like a +R, maybe add one character and move it over to Unreal Engine 4, because they already know how to implement the rollback netcode into Unreal Engine 4. So I think maybe that would be a better move as opposed to not. I'm more than well aware that more than likely porting something over would probably take some time. There's a lot of things that they have to work out, a lot of bugs and kinks, and I totally understand that. but I think that that would have made Rev2 Rollback that much more special if they were announcing this with a new character, at least one new character, rollback netcode, and Unreal Engine 4. I think those things would have definitely made this that much more special. It is still special in regards to this being one of like the last of ArcSys, you know, games that did not have rollback, now finally getting it. But I think that, in all honesty, to me as a Guilty Gear player, like, I do feel like it would have been nice to kind of really celebrate this game getting rollback. And I know it's probably asking a lot as a fan to get them to add another character, but you know, they did have other characters that were supposed to be in Xrd that they didn't kind of roll with. And it is a little much to kind of go backwards, I get it, but you know, Plus R kind of sort of always had Cliff and Justice in every, you know, console port of XX, but I do think, just to make it, and I know I'm saying this multiple times, you guys, but I just can't stress enough how special it would have been to have Rev2 Plus R with one new character and like updated balance. I know I'm probably asking for a lot while Strive is out. I don't think that this would have killed Strive at all. I know that's something which I should address this too, right? Like, I think there's some people that are just like, yo, Xrd is gonna kill Strive and blah blah blah. It's like, it's not so much the case. I think it's just good to see that there's different generations of Guilty Gear games being played all at the same time. So if Strive isn't your cup of tea, you can go back to Xrd. If Xrd isn't your cup of tea, you can go play Plus R. If you don't like Plus R, go play Xrd. You know what I'm saying? You can just go vice versa, and or just play all three games and just have a good time. You know, it's good that we at least have it for all the games. You know, we don't have to, you know, alienate other Guilty Gear players because they like this version or that version. Like, it's still Guilty Gear at the end of the day, you know what I mean? And I've said this a long time ago in my older videos, but I definitely want to make it clear that like, we don't need to push people away from playing Rev. Yes, the skill barrier might be a little bit high for those that have still been playing it, and those that are coming new to it or like kind of nervous or whatever. Like, don't be, you know. And for the people who are out there just trying to beat up on people who don't know how to play Rev, like, seriously, come on. Like, it's gonna be hard to differentiate like a new player from whatnot, but kind of let people rock, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people have been really wanting to play Rev, you know, and like, we shouldn't tarnish their experience. Granted, you know, I get it, it's gonna happen to some degree. So for those of you that are new to Rev, like, don't get discouraged, just keep playing. The game is extremely fun. There's a lot of things to learn. It's definitely a more technical game, but it is very rewarding at the end of the day. Now I know this is kind of a different thing here, but swinging back to it to kind of close this out, I do think that the rollback implementation is solid. It does have a decent foundation. This 2 weeks that we have with the game is going to be good. Hopefully we'll be able to give them a lot of feedback and they're going to pay attention to it. But I'm definitely hoping for the best for it. I definitely want it to come out and be solid. At the moment, while this is a beta and, you know, this is great, we don't have an actual release date for Rev2's full, you know, re-release with rollback. So we have to wait sometime for 2023 to see how that's going to go down. So end game, I'm hoping for the best. I'm definitely hoping for the best, you guys. Hopefully you guys are enjoying yourselves. You know, I can't stress enough, just go play it. It's fun to play. You'll have a good time, trust. Lots of fun things, lots of fun tips and tricks. There's just, Rev2 is just a fantastic game. So, and it's a great supplement to Strive, so go get them. Anyway, let me not make this too long and not ramble here. Let me know how you guys feel about rollback for Rev2 in the comments below. What characters are you playing? Is there anyone that you're finally happy to play that you don't have in Strive? Talk to me, let me know. Comments below. Talk to me, let me know. And talk to each other, you know, and be nice, yeah? Anyway, I'm gonna get up out of here and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.